Good morning. Thanks for joining this morning. This is the vinyasa flow class for May 23rd. May 23rd. I'm putting it on the class library because I'm going to take this Saturday off. So I'm pre-recording this class this morning. Sorry, I'm in a construction zone. So we're going to flow through something a couple of times, and then towards the end, we're going to have some more relaxing poses this morning, just to kind of relax the nervous system, the legs, and the core. So to get started, let's get grounded. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears and exhale, relax them down your spine. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Taking a moment here to clear out your mind. Giving yourself a sense of calm and preparing yourself for this you time, this time to just focus on you. As you continue to breathe, relax your shoulders a little bit more. And feel as though you can give up any hold in your legs, any tension in your legs or your hips or your waist. Allow yourself to soften and relax just a little bit more. And giving yourself a moment as your mind is clear to think of an affirmation this morning or a mantra to carry you through this practice. An I am statement. And taking 5 more rounds of breath. And on that last round of breath, let's meet at the top of our mat. Taking your time whenever you're ready. And once you come to the top of your mat, I want you to ground down into your feet. Continue just relaxing those shoulders away from your ears and your hands down to your sides. Making some connection with your legs and your core here, I want you to press those toes down into the mat. The big toes, the pinky toes, and feel as if you're spreading the mat apart with your feet. So you're anchoring all 4 corners of the feet down into the mat. Feel as though you're lifting up on your quads and you're peeling the feet down and out into the mat. Make that connection with your legs. And as those legs stay strong, pull the core in just slightly. Continuing with those big inhales and exhales that you started with in your seated meditation this morning. Arms are firm down to your sides, fingertips pressing down towards the mat. On that last exhale, inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold, take the hands to the mat, step back into a high plank. Gaze forward, shift those hips back as you bend your knees. Inhale, shift your weight back forward into your high plank. Maybe a little bit more forward on your hands, and exhale, pull the core in, send the hips back, bend your knees. Inhale, roll it forward. 2 more, exhale, take it back. As you take it back here with your knees bent and your hips back towards the wall, I want you to take your elbows, scoop them in towards your knees, press into your hands again. Shoulders still down your back. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, round it out, take it back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back up, high plank, lower the waist down, open up your chest, upward facing dog. Take the tops of the toes or the pedicure part of your toes onto the mat. Shift your waist down towards the mat, feel as though you're opening up your chest or sending your heart through. Exhale, bend those knees again, come back into a full downward facing dog. Take a moment to rest here, gaze back toward your thighs, anchor down into your feet just how you started in your standing pose. Grounding down into your left foot, inhale, send that right leg up towards the ceiling. Send it up nice and high, reach through those toes and send a little bit more energy through your pinky toe. Exhale, bend into that right knee, really open up that knee towards the ceiling, opening up your hip. Exhale, come down onto your left elbow. Keep opening up that hip, grounding down into your left foot. Send that knee up towards the ceiling. Exhale, right toes go back up towards the ceiling. Press into your left hand, come back into your three-legged dog. Exhale, round out your spine, bring that knee in close towards your nose as you take a big step up with the right foot. Lower down onto your left knee. Grounding down into that right foot, send your chest forward, gaze forward. Hips pressing down towards the mat gently to open up your left hamstring, not your left hamstring, your left quad. Exhale, take the ball of that left foot down onto the mat, ground your hands down on either side of your right foot, lift yourself up, connect with your core, send yourself all the way back, three-legged dog once again. This time, go down onto your left elbow, bend into that right knee, send the knee up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lift that right toe back up towards the ceiling, press into your left hand. Three-legged dog. Gazing forward towards your hands. I want you to ground down into those fingertips. Gaze forward towards your hands. See if you can't step or hop that foot up towards the hands. Fold. Right leg lifts up. Inhale halfway. Take that right foot back down onto the mat. Bend into that left knee, gaze forward. Ground down into your hands. Take it straight in through that left leg. The right heel does not have to be down onto the mat. Left leg is in front, lengthen through the top of your head. Exhale, fold. Hamstring stretch. This is a wide pyramid pose. Inhale, gaze back, forward. Exhale, hands down onto the mat. Build that foundation in your hands. Grip the mat. Bend just slightly into that left knee. Send it back. Lift the left foot up towards the ceiling. Exhale, meet both feet back down onto the mat for your downward facing dog. Just warming up both sides here. This time, ground down into your right foot, lift the left leg up, bend into your left knee, open up that hip. Left knee reaches up towards the ceiling as you open up your hips. Maybe you come down onto that right elbow, same way you did on your left side. Ground down into that left hand, press into the right, come back into your three-legged dog, reach that left leg up. Exhale, round it out, step that left foot forward in between your hands, come on down to your right knee. Lengthen through the top of your head, find your low lunge. Just warming up here, trying not to overstretch, but sending the waist down towards the mat gently to get that extra stretch in your right hip flexors. Last exhale, take the right ball of the foot down onto the mat, press into your hands, step that left foot back and lift it up. Exhale, lower down onto that right elbow again, bend into your left knee, shift that knee up towards the ceiling, opening up your hips. You can even gaze underneath of your left arm. Exhale. Lift that left foot up. We're going to see if we can't make that same hop forward with the right leg. This is just to get a little bit of spring in your right leg, your right hamstrings. Gaze forward towards your hands. Press down into those finger pads. Step or hop that right foot forward and fold. Take and bring that left foot back behind you. You can stay on the ball of the foot. Inhale, lengthen through the top of your head. Exhale, pyramid pose, fold over top of the right straight leg. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, walk those hands out just a little bit. Step that right foot back. Lift the right leg up. Exhale, come back into your downward facing dog. Both feet plant down into the mat. Send your hips back, gaze back towards your knees or your thighs. And let's bend those elbows just slightly. Scoop them back towards your toes and then straighten through your arms. Getting a little bit more shoulder activation there. Take 3 more breaths here. Really make sure you're pulling your lower ribs in as you breathe. Last exhale here, ground down into those hands one more time. Lift that left or that right leg up so that your left leg is planted. Make a little bit of a bigger scoop as you take those right toes over towards your head or towards your left hand. Exhale, bring the right leg back up, swing it through your hands, step forward. Ground down into that right leg. This time, try to keep that left leg up and move your body up forward so that you can take the hands up towards the ceiling. As you take the hands up, maybe reach those hands back, come into cactus arms or open up your chest. Inhale, reach them back up. Exhale, float those hands down around the right foot. Ground down into that right hand. Lift the left hand up. Kick that right leg through. Exhale, left hand back down onto the mat. Step it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, foot comes down onto the mat. Switch sides, ground down into your hands. So maybe scoop those elbows back toward your toes again. Press into your right foot, lift the left leg up. Bend into that left knee, take the toes over, open up your hips. Maybe take it up a little bit and wider. Exhale, round it out, step that foot through towards your hands. Ground down into both feet. Find your legs here, find the strength in your legs. Connect with your core, bring your upper body up. Reach up. Open up the chest. However you want to, arms out to the side, cactus arms, whatever feels good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float the hands down around that left foot again. This time, ground down into the left hand, come onto the right foot, lift your right arm up, send that left leg through. Exhale, hands come down, step back, and downward facing dog. Inhale, shift into your plank. Exhale, hips back, knees bent, downward facing dog. Let's flow through that plank, downward facing dog 3 more times. Float yourself up, high plank. Bend those knees, shift your hips back, downward facing dog. High plank. Bend your knees, shift your hips back, downward facing dog. One more time, high plank. Knees bend, shift the waist back, downward facing dog. One more time, flowing through those motions, just one breath in each pose. Grounding down into the left foot, kick that right leg up, bend the knee, open yourself up. Maybe lift that right arm up. If you want to go over into a wild thing, you can. Shift your hips. Exhale, flip it back. Right leg lifts up. Exhale, round out your back. Step that right foot forward. You're on the ball of the left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open. Inhale, hands back up. Exhale, come down onto the mat. We're just gonna shift that left foot onto the mat, left heel bend into your right knee. Take your hands to center. Press down into that right foot, shift over to the left. And back to the right, press down into this left foot as much as you can. Send the weight over to your right. Bend. Flip back over to the ball of that left foot. Hands on either side of your right foot. Step back. Three-legged dog. Coming over onto the left foot, whole left foot to kick that right leg through. Lift your left arm up as you kick the leg through. Exhale, bring it back. Downward facing dog. Shake your waist out if you need to. Take a breath, take a child's pose, whatever you need here. We're gonna switch over to that left side. Grounding down into the right foot, lift your left leg up, bend your left knee, open up. Maybe go into a wild thing, ground down into your right hand, lift your left arm up and over. Lift your waist, hand comes back. Exhale, flip it back. Downward facing dog or three-legged dog. Send that left leg through. High lunge. Reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Come over onto the ball or onto the whole right foot here. Bend into that left knee. Hands come to the center. Ground down into that left foot. Press yourself up and over to the right. And back to the left. Press to your left. Coming over onto the ball, that right foot, hands shift down onto the mat. Step yourself back and up into your three-legged dog. Grounding down into that left hand, shift that left foot through your, or shift your left leg through and lift your right arm up. Exhale, bring it back and lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift your way side to side. Shake it out slightly. Ground down into that left hand. Take the right hand back. Grab a hold of your left calf or your left ankle. Keep pressing down into that left hand. Just relax your head. Gaze back toward your toes. Inhale, bring the right hand back down onto the mat. Switch sides, left hand crosses over, grabs towards your right ankle or your calf. Inhale, bring the hand back. Come up into your high plank. Exhale, bend those knees, shift your hips back. Downward facing dog. 2 more times. If you can, scoop those elbows back towards your thighs. Keep your core active. Roll up high into your plank. Bend your knees, shift the hips back. Straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Feel like you're making a wave with your core, your legs, your whole body here. Roll up. Bend the knees, shift the hips back. Straighten the legs, down dog. Relax your head. Exhale, take the knee, come forward, take the knees down onto the mat. Shift your hips back. Relax your head down onto the mat, coming into a child's pose. Relax your shoulders, relax your hands. We spent a lot of our time on our hands this morning, so just give your wrists, your fingers, your forearms a break. You might even feel a little tired in your tricep muscles. Take a big breath in and imagine them just relaxing down towards the mat. Last exhale, take an inhale, ground your hands down, come up into a tabletop. Pull your core in or pull the navel in towards your spine. Hands are just underneath of your shoulders. You can look forward towards the front of your mat or right in between your hands. And we're going to continue. Just think about that same wave motion that you did in your high plank to your down dog, except now we're going to slow it down a little bit. And I want you to inhale, shift the weight forward, pull your ribs in, keep those knees bent, sink the navel, sink the ribs, everything down towards the mat as you send your tailbone back towards the wall behind you. So you should feel this arching in your back, chest lifted. Inhale, come back. This time, pull the ribs in, round it up. Come forward onto your hands, shift your weight forward. Long tabletop. And then shift the navel down towards the mat, open up your rib cage, shift your tailbone back towards the wall behind you. Open chest. Hands still grounding down onto the mat, pull your core in, shift forward. So this is a really exaggerated cat-cow. Navel shifts down towards the mat, open up your rib cage, shift the hips back. Inhale, round out your back, tuck your tailbone, lean forward. Exhale, opposite. Inhale, forward, round spine, lean forward. Exhale, just come back to neutral. Back to a neutral position on your mat. We're going to take a thread the needle pose here. So I want you to ground down into your left hand, reach your right arm up. Reach it up nice and high so that you stretch into your side body, create some space, open up your chest. And exhale, thread that right hand through your left hand and your left knee, come down onto your right shoulder. Relax your right ear down towards the mat. And either taking that left hand, reaching it out straight, relaxing it onto the mat, or you can take the arm out to the side. I want you to hold that left hand out to the side, palm facing down towards the floor, and then take your left thumb down towards the mat. Take it a little bit further, palm up towards the ceiling. And then I want you to reach through those fingertips, engage that left shoulder. Bend that elbow, send the arm behind the back. Slowing it down a little bit to really make sure you're opening that shoulder properly, but also adding strength into those muscles as you take the time to notice all of them. Once your hand is behind your back, just let it go. Let your hips soften a little bit. Your core might even soften. Think of this thread the needle pose as more restorative and active. Last exhale, lift that left hand up just a little bit. Straighten out that elbow. Rotate the shoulder till you reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left palm comes down onto the mat. Press into that left hand and unravel. As you unravel, reach that right hand all the way up. And exhale, release. Right hand comes down onto the mat, still in your tabletop position. We're just going to switch sides. Ground down into your left, right hand. Lift your left arm up. Thread the left hand through your right hand and your right knee. Come down onto that left shoulder this time. Send your tailbone back towards the wall behind you so you're balancing out your waist. You don't have one hip forward and one hip back. Try to balance out the hips. Same thing here, hand can either reach out and stay relaxed. If it does, try to take the whole palm onto the mat, press the palm down into the mat, open up this shoulder a little bit. Or take that palm out to the side, let it hover above the mat, thumb down towards the floor. Then palm up towards the ceiling, reach out into that hand, activate your deltoid. Exhale, bend that elbow, reach it behind the back so you're reaching through those fingertips as it comes back behind you. And then let it soften. You can even wiggle the fingers a little bit. Check in with that shoulder. Allow it to relax. And just take your time softening in this pose, relaxing your left ear down towards the mat. Last exhale. Activate and lift that right shoulder or that right elbow, and then straighten that arm out with a reach through your fingers. Flip the palm, open it out to the side, and then lift that right hand up towards the ceiling, opening up that shoulder. Exhale, right palm down onto the mat. Inhale, unraveling, reach and lift that left hand back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Take your knees out wide, big toes together, shift the sit bones down towards your heels, reach your hands out, come into a child's pose. Once again, roll out those wrists a little bit. Wiggle your fingers. Place the backs of the hands onto the mat, palms up towards the ceiling. Relax a little bit more. Inhale, roll up, stay on your forearms, stay palms up towards the ceiling. Bring your knees back underneath of your hips, palms up. Take and reach those fingertips back toward your shoulders, but try to keep the forearms onto the mat. Keep your core active, spine rounded. Keep pressing into those elbows and forearms so that you round out your upper back a little. Exhale, gently roll those hands back down, fingers out. And then making a tighter fist this time, ball your hands or your fingertips in together, your thumbs come in, make a fist, and then take the knuckles back towards your biceps, almost as if you're flexing, but keeping those forearms down into the mat. Feel a stretch in your wrists. Exhale, slowly relax the hands down onto the mat, fingertips release, open up the palm. One more time, ball up that fist. Send the knuckles back towards your bicep. Feel the stretch in your forearms. Exhale, slowly release, open. Take your waist, shift your hips back toward your heels. Slowly peel all the way up. Allow your head to come up last. Hands on your thighs. Coming into a hero's pose. Relax your shoulders. Take a few breaths. Just moving slowly here towards the end of your class, allowing your body to come back into a relaxed state that it started with. Inhale, hands come back out onto the mat, just to shift your weight and bring your hip down onto the mat to come into a seat. Take the legs out wide. So if you're straight at the front of your mat and not all over the place like me, you can take your legs out a little bit wider than either side of your mat. But I want you to sit up tall here, activate and press through the soles of the feet. So keep your upper body up nice and tall. Feel this length in your torso. But I want you to still think hips forward. So if you need to lean forward just slightly out of your hips, flexing through the feet as if you're bringing the toes back towards your upper body and the heels out so that your legs stay active. You might feel your heels lift up a little bit as your calves activate. And then on this exhale, I want you to slowly start walking the hands forward, still shifting your pelvis forward. Maybe your legs inch out a little bit wider. Inhale, reach through the top of your head. Exhale, fold as if your chest is going to land all the way down onto the mat. So take your time here. Move slowly. Move mindfully. And if it feels comfortable to just relax those arms down onto the mat, head down towards your forearms, you can go ahead. But try to keep those toes up towards the ceiling. You don't have to keep the toes back as far as you were in the beginning. Just find a comfortable space in between overactivating and relaxing completely. You want to make sure those legs stay active so that you don't overstretch a hamstring, but you don't have to keep them so active that you hurt yourself as well. So find that middle ground. Find your edge. Find where you can find a good stretch. And make sure you're working with your breath. As you inhale, notice how the strength in your legs feels. And on your exhale, maybe you inch just a little bit more forward to fold. Take 5 more rounds of breath here. If you can go a little bit deeper, feel free to go a little bit deeper. And on that last exhale, slowly move yourself back out of the pose. And this time, keeping the legs out wide, we're gonna bring the right leg in. So the left leg's gonna stay where it is. Just bend that right knee, bring the right foot in towards the left inner thigh. We're gonna take the left hand and reach that left hand down to the inside of your left foot. So thumb down towards the floor. Reach that left hand down towards the foot. And then taking and opening up your chest, reach the right hand out behind you. So imagine keeping yourself in this, or your arms in this straight line. Sorry, I can't talk. Think about reaching that right hand out. Left hand presses into the foot starts pressing into that left hand so that you're activating both shoulders. Pull those lower ribs in, sit up just a little bit taller, feel a nice stretch in your right side, right QL muscle. Exhale, we're gonna take that right thumb and bring it down towards your big toe. So reaching over. You can take your gaze underneath of that right arm, maybe up towards the ceiling. That way you keep your chest open instead of dropping your head and rounding slightly. Keep your head open, looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, gently come back up. Take the hands back behind you, interlace your fingers, squeeze those palms together, open up your chest, gaze up. Exhale, release. Taking that right leg back out, just wide. I want you to sit here for a moment, stretch out through those feet, toes up towards the ceiling, shift your pelvis forward, hands down to the mat. Take a breath here. And then keeping that right leg out straight, bring the left sole of the foot in toward your right inner thigh. Same thing on this side. Right hand reaches out toward your right foot, thumb down. Come to the inside of that right foot, grab a hold of your foot. Opening up your chest, finding some space here. Reaching that left hand out. Pull the ribs in, stand up tall out of your waist. Press the right foot into your right hand into your right foot. Reaching out, oppositional force here. Feel a nice stretch in the left side body this time. As you exhale, take that left thumb, bring it over, reach it over down towards your right toe. Same thing here, gaze underneath of that left arm so that you're not dropping your head and rounding in your pose, allowing yourself to open up your chest and gaze towards the ceiling. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up slowly. Notice how that side body feels. We're going to take that left leg out again, reaching it out wide. Once again, sit up tall, pelvis leaning forward slightly, but toes still up towards the ceiling. Hands can just come placed down towards the mat. Exhale, release. Bring those feet in. Take the legs out straight, toes up towards the ceiling. Sit up tall. Continue grounding down into those feet the same way that you started your practice this morning, using the legs, making a connection with the feet and the floor. Exhale, release, relax your legs, shake the toes side to side. As you press down into your hands here, we're going to add a little bit more heat before we relax down onto our backs. So I want you to bend your knees slightly so that the soles of the feet go down onto the mat. Shift your hands forward just in front of your sit bones, but still behind your knees. You're going to lean forward here and lift your hips up. As you lean forward, press into your hands. You can use the feet here. Lift your waist up. And then on your exhale, keep bending your knees, keep your waist up, open up your chest, reverse tabletop. And you don't want your sit bones to hit the floor here, so keep pressing into your hands, keep lifting yourself up, send yourself back through and lift. If you need to adjust your feet, lift yourself back up. Head drops back. Tabletop. Exhale, hips lift and back and forward. Tabletop. Relax your head. One more time, gaze forward. Hips don't touch the mat. Keep pressing into your hands. Lift and exhale, lower. Lower all the way down onto your mat. As you lower down, knees come in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug, gently rock side to side. Keeping your body down onto the mat, or your whole torso down onto the mat. Lift your toes up towards the ceiling. Lift your hands up towards the ceiling. Let your feet go, let your hands go. You can have a slight bend in your knees, slight bend in your elbows. Let your whole body relax here. Send some blood, some energy back into your torso. Exhale, release, relax. Knees come back into your chest. And send those knees out wide. Toes separate, knees out wide. You can take your hands onto your knees. Take 3 more breaths here. Shift the knees back together. Take those legs out straight and flat on the floor. Find yourself back into a Shavasana pose. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, start to settle in to your final relaxation. Relax your shoulders. Maybe scoop that shoulder blade down toward your left heel and scoop that right shoulder blade down toward your right heel. Shake your head side to side. Allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to relax for a few more moments of this class. Maybe reminding yourself of that affirmation or that mantra that you stated at the beginning of class. Noticing if it holds true or if it's something that you can continue to repeat. Notice how you can relax your body even more. What else can you let go? What muscles are holding on? And on your last exhale, bring one knee in towards your chest and then the other. Rock over to your right side. Make your way up into a seated position on your mat. Bring your hands together. Take 3 more deep inhales. And an exhale, excuse me. Take 3 more big inhales and an exhale out of your mouth. The light in me honors the light in you, as the light in you honors the light in me. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining this morning for this pre-recorded Saturday morning class. I hope you enjoy. Have a great day.